What if the saddest moment of your dog's day happens right after you close the door? Not when you raise your voice, not when you skip the walk, right after you leave. And what they feel in that moment. It's not what most people think. If your dog watches you walk away, waits by the window, or follows you from room to room before you go, you need to hear this, because what happens inside them the second that door closes may completely change how you see your dog. Think about the last time you got busy. Maybe you were on a call, stressed about something, just needed a moment to yourself. And your dog came over, gently, just sat near you, maybe rested their head on your lap. You probably gave them a quick pat and went back to what you were doing. But what was actually happening in that moment? What were they feeling before you responded? And what did they feel when you didn't? Most owners never ask that question. And that silence, that gap, is exactly what this video is about. Because ignoring your dog isn't always intentional. Most of the time it isn't at all. But your dog, they notice every single time. Here's where it starts. You're getting ready to leave, keys in hand, shoes on. You say a quick, "Be good," or maybe you say nothing, and you walk out the door. And behind you, your dog walks to the window. Most people think that's sweet. Oh, they're watching for me. But what's actually happening in your dog's brain in that moment is far more complex than most owners realize. Dogs don't understand time the way we do. They don't know you're going to work. They don't know what a few hours means. They have no concept of tomorrow. What they know is this: their person was here, and now they're not. And when you leave without acknowledging them, without a calm word, without any kind of signal that says, "I'll be back," something shifts inside them. Researchers call it separation-related distress, but that's a clinical term for something deeply emotional. In plain language, your dog is afraid you might not come back, not in the way humans experience fear. Dogs don't catastrophize the way we do, but in their body, cortisol rises, heart rate increases, the nervous system shifts into a state of alert. They're not misbehaving. They're not being dramatic. They're grieving a small loss. Every single time. And the watching at the window. That's not just waiting. That's hope. Your dog knows you're leaving before you do. That sounds impossible, but it's not. Dogs learn your routines faster than any app, any alarm, any calendar reminder. They read your body language the way a musician reads sheet music, with precision, with feeling, and with memory. The moment you pick up your keys, their ears move. The moment you put on your shoes, their breathing changes. The moment you reach for your jacket, they feel it in their body. And in that window, those few minutes before you leave, if you're distracted, scrolling your phone, rushing out the door without a glance their way, your dog is experiencing something scientists call an anticipatory stress response. They're not sad yet, but they're bracing. Think of it like this. Imagine someone you love deeply, a parent, a best friend, is about to leave on a long trip. And in those last few minutes, they're too busy to look at you, too distracted to say goodbye properly. You'd feel it, that hollow, slightly desperate feeling of wanting to connect before they go. That's what your dog feels. Every morning, every time you walk out that door, and when you ignore them in those final moments, you don't just miss the goodbye, you miss the one chance they had to feel safe before the quiet set in. The door closes, the house goes quiet. And your dog? They don't go find something to do. They don't shrug it off. Many of them go looking for you. They walk through the rooms. They check your usual spots. They sniff the couch where you sat, the pillow where you slept. This isn't boredom. This is an emotional search. Dogs are scent-driven creatures, and your smell is the most comforting thing in their world. When they can't find you, they find your scent instead. And for a while, it helps. But here's what makes this ache. Your dog has no way of knowing how long you'll be gone. An hour feels the same as a day. 5 minutes of silence feels the same as 5 hours. Without any framework for time, Every absence carries the same quiet weight. Are they coming back? They don't ask that question the way we would, but somewhere in their emotional system, in that ancient part of the brain that bonds with a pack, with a person, with you, that question is running. And the harder truth is this: dogs who are frequently ignored, not abused, not mistreated, but simply overlooked, often show signs of emotional withdrawal. They stop greeting you at the door with the same energy. They sleep more. They become quieter, not because they stopped caring, but because somewhere along the way, they learned to expect less. And that, more than anything, is what we owe it to them to understand. You come home, and your dog loses their mind. The spinning, the whining, the jumping, the face licking, the running in circles. Most people laugh at this. It's one of the best parts of having a dog. But here's what's really happening. That explosion of joy isn't just excitement. It's relief. Your dog's nervous system, which has been in a low-grade state of vigilance since you left, just got its signal. You're back. Everything is okay. The pack is whole again. The more intense the greeting, the more they felt your absence. Think about that for a second. If your dog absolutely loses it when you walk through the door, that's not them being dramatic. That's the full weight of missing you releasing all at once. Now, here's the part that stings a little. What do most owners do in that moment? They say, down, push the dog away, kick off their shoes, check their phone. They need a minute. And the dog, tail slowing, excitement fading, sits back down. They waited for hours, and they get 30 seconds. This isn't blame. Life is complicated. Owners are tired. It's understandable. But your dog doesn't know that. They just know that the reunion they were hoping for, the one they've been building toward since you left, was shorter than they needed. Let me paint something for you. Your dog does not know what work is. They don't know what bills are, what stress is, what tomorrow means. They have no concept of your deadlines, your relationship problems, your bad day. All they know, all they have ever known, is this: you are their whole world, not part of it, not a chapter in it, their whole world. And every single day that world disappears without explanation, without warning, without any guarantee it will return. They don't understand where you go. They don't understand why you sometimes look at them but seem to look through them. They don't understand why some days you're present and warm, and other days you're somewhere else entirely, even when you're sitting right beside them. What they understand is simpler and heavier. You came back today. That's it. That's the whole victory. They don't hold a grudge about yesterday. They don't carry resentment for last week. Every single time you walk through that door, they greet you like the first time, like the best time, like the only time that matters. Because for them, it is. And somewhere inside that incredible, irrational, completely unconditional loyalty is a question they've never stopped asking. Am I still your favorite person? Not in words, not consciously, but in every glance toward you, every step that follows yours, every time they push their head under your hand. That's the question. Dog turning away when called, dog not eating fully, dog lying with back to the room. Here's what science has actually found. Not theory, not speculation, but real research. Studies using functional MRI on dogs show that their brains respond to their owner's voice, face, and scent the same way humans respond to someone they love. The reward centers light up. The oxytocin system activates. Your dog doesn't think they love you. They experience it, neurologically, physically, in their body. And when that love is met with silence, with distraction, with being looked past, with a door closing before they got a chance to be close to you, those same reward centers go quiet. Over time, repeated emotional unavailability, even unintentional, can cause measurable behavioral changes in dogs: increased anxiety, reduced exploratory behavior, overattachment, or conversely, emotional shutdown. One study found that dogs who were ignored during a standardized bonding test showed elevated cortisol levels that persisted for hours afterward. Hours. Not because they were in pain, not because anything was wrong with them physically, but because connection is not optional for dogs. It is survival. They evolved alongside humans for 15,000 years. The ones who bonded most deeply with people. Those were the ones who survived, who were fed, who were protected, who were kept. Connection isn't just emotional for your dog. It's biological. It's ancient. It's everything. And when you're distracted or tired or simply don't notice them, they feel it, all the way down. Here's the truth buried inside everything we just talked about. Your dog is not asking for perfection. They're not asking for hours of play every day. They're not asking you to never get busy, never be stressed, never need space. What they're asking for is moments. Real ones. Present ones. 30 seconds of eye contact and a gentle voice when you come home. That matters more to your dog than any toy, any treat, any elaborate enrichment activity. 2 minutes on the floor with them. Not on your phone, not half distracted, just with them. That fills something in them that nothing else can. A calm, deliberate goodbye before you leave. Not dramatic, not prolonged, just an acknowledgement. I see you. I'll be back. Dogs read your energy like a language. When you're calm, they're calm. When your goodbye is peaceful and assured, they carry that with them. And when you come home, just for a moment, let them have their reunion. Let them celebrate. Let the tail spin. Let the nose find your hands. Let them say, "You came back, you came back, you came back." Because that moment, that 45 seconds of pure, unfiltered joy, costs you nothing. And to them, it's the best moment of their entire day. We spend a lot of time trying to understand the people in our lives. We read into their silences. We wonder what they need. We try to be better for them. But our dogs, they've already figured us out. They know our moods before we name them. They know when we're hurting before we admit it. They position themselves in our spaces not because they're underfoot, but because they're trying to help. They have been trying to reach us since the first day they walked into our lives, and all they've ever asked in return is this: don't forget I'm here, not all the time, just sometimes, just enough. Because to your dog, you are not just a person. You are the reason the world is safe. You are the warmth they return to, the voice that means calm, the presence that makes everything okay. And right now, if they're near you, they're not asking for anything complicated. They're just glad you're here. If your dog is with you right now, take a second. Just look at them. Let them know you see them, because they've been seeing you all along. Drop your dog's name in the comments. Tell me one thing they do that you never quite understood until now. And if this video made you think about your dog differently, share it with someone who loves theirs. They deserve to know.